day in, day out. I mean, not 10 minutes ago, I had a call from someone, which I haven't been able to call back yet, but, just asking about, this gifts and benefits register. How do we make sure that works properly? And, that's all part of your supervision guidelines. And when I ring that student back, then, yes, we'll have a chat through what he needs to and how he needs to populate that. We've talked about that a number of times. So there's always something in compliance. And I know you guys, you're focused on listing, selling and managing properties, and that's your gig. And, everybody gets that. But at the back end of that, there's a level of compliance. Same deal. We're a college. Our gig is running training and talking to, students about their training, and whether that's our property training, our strata training, our finance training, management training, whatever sort of training that happens to be, we still need to have a back end that's compliant so we can continue to offer, I guess, high quality services. Same thing for you. So agency compliance is really important. And what we're finding, there's constant news articles. There was, as of yesterday, the Minister for Better Regulation, Kevin Anderson, he was talking about how fair trading is definitely doing compliance blitzes in terms of ensuring, and that we're the only state in Australia that actually has a consumer protection body, which is New South Wales Fair Trading, actually concerned for the outcomes for consumers. And sometimes, we can sit back and go, fair trading are attacking us on this and fair trading are attacking us on that. It's their job to protect consumers. So, from that perspective, that's what they're doing. And, they're continuing to do that. And where they've been, I think some of the combined statistics for this year, so from the 1st of January this year through up until a couple of weeks ago, they'd had 1,275 complaints that related to property matters. So, that's a lot of complaints going in from the community about property issues. So whether that's a tenant, obviously the majority of them are tenancy issues, but there's other complaints there from consumers. So what they're doing is they're responding to those. And that's fine. And fair trading get it that there are some people that just like to complain. So if you're compliant, your files are compliant, when you get asked that question from fair trading, you can immediately respond, say, no, this is what happened, this is how we dealt with it, this was how we did it. And they can realise that they've just got a complainer on their hands and they can move that on. And, that's a regular occurrence. Now, during that same period, there have been 450 breaches of the Act. There's been 44 breaches of the regulations. There's been, from the information that I've received, there's been 160 penalty infringement notices issued. And, in the interview with Kevin Anderson yesterday, he was talking about, fines can be up to 22,000. Now, we don't see those sorts of levels of fines. But, in this first 6 months or 5.5 months, it's apparently just under $200,000 worth of fines have been issued to agents. But, from 160 penalty infringement notices, it's interesting that they've issued almost double that number in over 300, I think it's around 330 warning letters and education. So, yes, we can sit back as agents and the broader real estate community and say, they're just issued, it's a money raising or a revenue raising program. But they've issued twice as many in warning letters and education letters as they have infringement notices. So I think that's a fairly good sign that they're interested in making sure that agencies are compliant. They're interested in making sure that consumers are protected. That's their gig. They're not there as an agent support network. They're there as a consumer protection body. So, and they're our regulator in terms of your behaviour as an agent. So, some of those, some of the breaches that have been had, there's been unlicensed activity, there's been breaches of the supervision guidelines, there's been breaches of the rules of conduct, issues surrounding misrepresentation, still underquoting. There was over 30 breaches in that area. There's failure to account, so that we're talking about trust account issues here. Failure to lodge audits. There was over 200 breaches in relation to failure to lodge audit. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You've got a trust account, you have it audited, you lodge your audit report. or at least your auditor does. But you, as if you're the licensee in charge, make sure it's been done. So, it's not that hard to actually stay compliant. Lots of areas to look at, but not that hard to do it. So just make sure that whilst you're providing a good service to your customers in terms of your listing, your sales, your management of properties, and be they rural, residential, commercial, industrial, retail, businesses, livestock, whatever it is you're doing within that sales management side of it. If you're a strata management, same. You're managing owners corporations, community associations. The services that you're offering, you want them to be high quality because that's your business and your continued business. However, it needs to be compliant. I've probably gone on enough about compliance today, and those of you who know me and have ever been to one of my sessions, it's kind of our thing, because that's what the training around the legislation is all about.